So today we're going to be looking at a fundamental for science, which is variables. So whenever we do scientific investigations, we've got to be really careful that we only change one variable. So what is a variable? A variable is something you can change. So when you're doing a scientific investigation, if you change more than one thing, you don't know what was responsible for the result. So it's really important you identify the variable you're changing, keep everything else the same, and you know what you're measuring. So that's what we're going to be looking at today, the names of variables and identifying the variable you change and the variable you measure. The first is the independent variable. The independent variable is the one you change. Now the way I remember this is it starts with an I. I changed it. I changed it. It's the one you change. The other type of variable is the dependent variable. And that's the one you measure. Okay, so that will give you your result in an investigation. And the final one is the control variables. Now, there'll be more than one of them for every investigation, and these are the things you keep the same. So the independent variable, the one I changed, is the one you're investigating. The dependent variable, the one you measure, and the control variable, the ones you keep the same. So you need to be able to look at a title of investigation or carry out an investigation and know what the dependent variable is, the independent variable, and some control variables for that investigation. So let's have a little look at a couple. So here's one here, investigating the effect of exercising on body temperature. So what is the independent variable? What are we changing in this investigation? So the variable in the title, investigating the effect of exercising on body temperature. So exercising and body temperature. So exercising is one variable and body temperature is another. They're the things that are going to alter in this investigation. But which one are we controlling? Which is the one that we're altering in order to measure? Okay, so we're altering the exercising, so that is our independent variable. Because it's the one we're changing. The body temperature is the dependent variable, it's the one we're measuring. So we'll measure that as a result of our investigation. Let's have a look at another one. Does caffeine affect heart rate? So does caffeine affect heart rate? So we've got caffeine that's going to be changed in this investigation, and we've got heart rate that's going to be changed. Which one is the one we're going to measure? Which is the one that we're going to change during the investigation? So we're going to change, the independent variable is the caffeine. And the one that we'll measure is the heart rate, and that will become our results, and that is the dependent variable. One last one. Does the temperature of a ball affect the height of the ball bounces? So what are we measuring in this investigation? What's going to be our results? What are we changing? So does the temperature of a ball, so we've got temperature in here that's going to change, the ball affect the height of the ball bounce, and we've got a height is something else. Now which is one that we're going to measure? The results. The height of the ball bounce is going to be our dependent variable. It's the results is what we're going to measure. What are we going to alter in our test? We're going to alter our temperature. Now don't forget, I also said there's something called the control variables. So for this investigation, can we think of some things that we're going to need to keep the same? Because remember, if we alter more than one thing, we don't know whether those results are down to those things that have been altered. So this experiment, does the temperature of a ball affect the height the ball bounces? So what else can we? What else could we change? We could change the type of ball. So we could maybe look at sizes, different sizes. We could look at different types, maybe like tennis balls, ping pong balls. Okay, so we could look at types, sizes, material of that ball. What else could we do to see what would happen? Okay, we could drop it from different heights. Now, if we dropped it from different heights and we changed the type of ball it was and we changed the temperature, how would we know which one was responsible for the effect that we measured, the dependent variable, the height of the ball bounce? So you can see the variables are really, really important, and it's really important for a scientific investigation that you only change one thing, you keep everything else the same, and then you measure one thing. Okay, so we've worked through some examples together. On the worksheet attached to this lesson, have a little go and see if you can identify the independent, dependent and control variables for some more investigations. See you later.